Welcome to another deep dive. Ever feel like people see the world through like totally different lenses?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, what motivates one person can be baffling to another, right?
Right. And today we're going to explore that with this model called spiral dynamics.
Yeah.
It's basically like this map of human values.
Uh-huh.
And it helps explain, why we sometimes clash and why we sometimes connect.
Yeah, that's the thing. Spiral dynamics basically shows us how those values actually evolve.
Okay.
So think of it as like a spectrum
Okay.
of different perspectives, each represented by a color.
Gotcha.
And what's really cool is it's not about ranking them or saying one is better.
Right.
Yeah, it's more about seeing how they all contribute to the bigger picture.
Okay. So no hierarchy here.
Not at all.
Like it's not like we're climbing a ladder to, some ultimate enlightenment or something.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest misconceptions, actually.
Okay.
Those visuals, like the spiral or ladder, can be kind of misleading.
Yeah.
It's not about leaving stages behind, but actually integrating them.
Integrating.
Yeah, and recognizing the value of each.
So more like a circle where each color interacts and kind of dances with the others.
Exactly. Imagine a color wheel where each hue blends and influences the ones next to it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, much more accurate.
So let's break down these colors. Our source material has this fun analogy. A margarita.
Oh, yeah, that's a great way to illustrate how the different stages interact.
Okay, so each ingredient is a color.
Basically. So, for example, the tequila with its kick.
Yeah.
That's that red energy.
Okay, I'm seeing it.
Right.
So what about lime juice? That's got to be orange, right?
You got it. That zesty, ambitious flavor cutting through the sweetness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. And then triple sec. That's got to be purple, right?
Yeah, with that connection to traditions and those sweeter notes.
Okay, so we've got bold red, ambitious orange, traditional purple.
Right.
Where does blue fit into the mix?
Blue is the structure. It's the container, the glass itself, providing order and shape.
Right.
Yeah, containing the drink.
Got it. What about green?
Oh, I think you'll like this one.
Let me guess. Green is the ice. Keeps everything cool and refreshing.
Absolutely. Green is all about harmony and connection, bringing it all together.
Love it. And that sprinkle of salt on the rim.
That's beige, the simplest element,
Okay.
but essential for bringing out all those other flavors.
So we've got our ingredients, but who's the mastermind behind this creation? The one who blends it all together.
That would be yellow.
Okay.
The bartender, skillfully balancing the sweet, the sour, the salty. Yeah, adapting to preferences, adjusting the proportions.
So yellow's the integrator.
Yeah.
What about turquoise? Where does that come in?
Turquoise is the one who sees the bigger picture.
Right.
They might think about the cultural significance, like the global popularity,
Right.
maybe even the environmental impact, even experimenting with new sustainable ingredients.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, taking it to a whole new level.
This analogy is making me thirsty for knowledge, A&D, an actual margarita.
Uh-huh. I hear.
But before we grab one, the source material also mentions chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, another great example of how those different stages actually manifest.
Okay, so break it down for me. How does a cookie embody this complex model?
Well, start with the most basic level. The oven providing the heat, that's beige.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that raw energy for everything else.
Got it. And those chocolate chips, they have to be purple, right? All those childhood memories.
Exactly, that sense of belonging and connection to the past.
Okay, I like it. Where does red come in?
Red is the sugar, of course.
Of course.
That burst of sweetness, that addictive quality, that rush.
Makes total sense. Okay, blue is the mixing bowl, providing structure.
Precisely. Keeping the baking process organized.
Right.
Yeah, no chaotic mess in the kitchen.
Okay. Then we've got orange, represented by the butter,
Right.
adding that richness, enhancing the flavor.
You got it. Orange is always taking things to the next level.
Okay, so we've got the sweetness, the structure, the richness. What about green that brings it all together?
You nailed it. Green is the flower, the base that binds everything,
Right.
creating that harmonious blend,
Oh, okay.
that sense of community, that shared experience.
And now for the star of the show, the yellow.
Exactly.
Okay.
The baker skillfully blending those ingredients, following the recipe, but also adapting, improvising.
Right, they see the whole picture.
Totally understanding the importance of each element.
And finally, turquoise, the visionary baker.
Right. They might think about the ethical sourcing of ingredients, environmental impact of packaging,
Right.
or even the role of cookies in bringing people together.
Wow, I never thought I'd see a chocolate chip cookie in such a profound light.
Uh-huh. Right.
Okay, so we've done margaritas, we've done cookies, but our source material also mentions Bohemian Rhapsody.
Ah, yes. Bohemian Rhapsody. a masterpiece of musical innovation.
Okay, so tell me, how does this song reflect spiral dynamics?
Well, we start with Beige, the recording studio, the basic foundation for creativity, the raw space.
Okay, and Freddie Mercury, he's got to be red.
Absolutely. That raw energy and passion captivating the audience.
And the other band members working together to bring that vision to life, that's yellow.
Yeah, each with their unique talents.
Got it. So we got that red energy and the yellow collaboration. Where's blue?
Blue is the structure, the musical arrangement, the timing, the order that channels all that energy.
And green, that's the harmony, how the voices and instruments blend together.
You got it. Green is all about that connection, those elements blending seamlessly.
So what about orange? That ambition, pushing boundaries.
Orange is that operatic section, so bold and innovative.
Right, departing from traditional rock.
Exactly, that willingness to experiment and create something truly unique.
I love how this is all coming together. Okay, so we've got the red, the blue, the green, the orange. What about purple?
Purple is Brian May's guitar solo.
Oh, yeah.
Reaching back to those rock and roll roots, that nostalgia.
And finally, turquoise, the visionary.
That's Freddie himself, the composer who envisioned this groundbreaking masterpiece that defied genres.
He saw the big picture.
Yeah, understood the power of music
Amazing.
to connect people, created something timeless.
I kind of want to listen to it now. But before we do, we have one more analogy to unpack.
You're talking about the strongman competition.
Exactly. They use a strength competition to showcase these colors.
It's fascinating because it seems like it's all red energy at first.
I agree.
But there's so much more when you look closer.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, start with Beige. Imagine the raw, open arena.
Okay.
Yeah, the dirt, the air, the basic elements.
Foundation.
Exactly. Where the athletes push their limits.
Okay, so then red is that drive, that power.
Absolutely. The desire to conquer, the sheer will for those feats of strength.
But they need structure too, which is where blue comes in.
Precisely. The training, the disciplined routines, the focus on technique and safety.
Right, to channel all that red energy.
Yeah. And then there's orange, that strategic mindset.
Okay.
The desire to push boundaries, achieve records.
Right, like constantly improving.
Exactly. Analyzing technique, new gear.
Okay, and what about green? It's got to be the community aspect, right?
Absolutely. The competitors, the coaches, the fans,
Yes.
all cheering each other on.
Awesome.
Yeah, it makes it more than just an individual sport.
Okay, now for yellow, the one who sees the big picture.
Yellow is adaptability in this case.
Okay.
Adjusting to conditions, handling challenges, staying mentally flexible.
So if it rains, they change their grip. If they have to learn a new event, they adapt.
Exactly. Ready for anything.
Makes sense. And finally, turquoise, the visionary.
For them, it's more than just lifting heavy things. It's
Yeah.
about inspiring others, pushing human limits, showcasing dedication, perseverance.
Right.
Yeah, understanding the broader impact.
Wow, we've covered a lot. Margaritas, cookies, Bohemian Rhapsody, strongman competitions, all through Spiral Dynamics.
And we've only just begun.
I know, right? So much to explore.
There is.
But before we jump into the next part, what stands out to you so far? Which colors resonate most with your own experiences? We'll be right back to delve deeper into Spiral Dynamics.
Welcome back. Now that we've, kind of laid the groundwork with those analogies, let's dive a bit deeper into integration
Okay.
in Spiral Dynamics.
It's funny. It really changes how you think about personal growth.
Right.
It's not about reaching some final level,
Right.
but being able to access the strengths of each color. Right?
Exactly. It's like, think of it as a toolbox.
Okay.
Each color is a different tool,
Gotcha.
each with its own function.
So it's not about finding the best tool, but knowing which one to use when. Yeah.
Exactly. Just like a craftsperson.
Right.
Someone who's integrated those stages can switch between them, depending on the task.
Seamlessly right.
Yeah, totally.
Someone strong in yellow wouldn't always operate from that perspective.
Right. They might tap into red when they need to be assertive.
Okay.
Blue for organization, green for collaboration.
It's like an orchestra, right?
Oh, I love that.
You can conduct a different symphony depending on what you need.
Exactly. And like a conductor, someone integrated can create something really harmonious.
Beautiful.
Yeah, by bringing those elements together.
Okay, so let's say you're in a tough spot at work.
Okay.
How could understanding spiral dynamics actually help?
Imagine you're leading a team project and you're hitting roadblocks.
Okay.
Knowing this model, you realize people might be coming at it from different color perspectives.
Oh, okay. I see.
Some might be big picture, yellow, others detailed planning, blue, some focused on harmony, green.
Right.
Yeah, so you can tailor your communication, your leadership.
Okay, so instead of getting frustrated, you can actually use those different approaches.
Exactly, and that's the power of integration, right? Not erasing differences, but harnessing them.
For something stronger.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, we've talked about the circle integration, but those unexplored dimensions you mentioned earlier. If spiral dynamics is a sphere, what's beyond those traditional colors?
That's where it gets interesting. Some theories say there are stages even higher than turquoise.
Whoa.
Representing even more expansive, holistic ways of being.
So it's not a closed system. There's still room to grow beyond the model as we know it.
Exactly. Spiral dynamics is dynamic, always evolving.
That's exciting. Always more to discover about ourselves, the world.
Exactly.
So what's the one takeaway we want our listeners to really grasp?
This model isn't about labeling, it's about understanding.
Right.
Each stage is a valid way of being, even if it's different from our own.
It's about approaching those differences with curiosity instead of judgment.
Exactly, moving beyond judgment towards a more inclusive way of interacting.
Especially now when it feels like we're so divided.
Yeah, spiral dynamics reminds us those differences are not to be feared.
Okay.
But embraced and learned from.
Well said. Before we wrap up, a final thought for our listener. If it's a sphere, where are those unexplored dimensions? What new colors might emerge? What lies beyond our current understanding?
Those are great questions to think about.
Yeah.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, expand your awareness.
I love that. Expand your awareness. Perfect. But before we go, one more crucial thing to cover in our final segment.
Right. We still need to talk about potential pitfalls, how to avoid them.
Exactly. We'll be right back to tackle that. Welcome back to our deep dive into spiral dynamics. We've explored a lot, but before we wrap up, we got to talk about how this model can be misused sometimes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like any tool, it can be, misunderstood or even weaponized.
Right.
We've seen it happen. People using it to justify feeling superior.
Oh, wow.
Or dismissing others who don't see things their way.
So it's like saying my color is better than yours, which totally defeats the purpose.
Exactly. It's not about judgment or hierarchy, remember?
Right.
It's about understanding those diverse values, those perspectives.
Okay, so how do we avoid that trap? Using it for division instead of understanding.
Humility, I think, is key. Remembering we're all on this journey.
Yeah.
No one has all the answers.
So even if you resonate with a certain stage, there's always more to learn.
Always. And that's what's cool about the circular model, right? No end point.
Right.
Constant growth, evolution, and expanding your awareness.
Embracing all those experiences.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the main message we want our listeners to take away?
It's a tool for compassion, for understanding, not a weapon.
Okay.
Use it to bridge divides, to foster empathy, to appreciate all those different values, those perspectives.
Yeah, because ultimately we're all in this together, right? Spiraling through life, each with our own colors.
Beautifully said, each adding to that grand symphony.
Love that. Well, that's all the time we have for today.
It was great diving in with you.
Thanks for joining us on this exploration of spiral dynamics.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
We hope you found it insightful, thought-provoking, and until next time, happy spiraling.